Introducing Asia, Day 2. Today we will continue learning about Asia and use text features to help us understand. Let's take a look at yesterday's task. You all did a phenomenal job and I was very impressed with your answers. On the left-hand side over here, Ms. Kelly P. has included the text that we needed to use to answer the questions 1, 2, and 3. Question number 1 said, what does the word continent mean? When I look here on page 4, I see that it explains a continent is a huge area of land. It's right here in the text. Tell 2 things that you learned from the map on page 4. You did a great job of discovering many things by looking at this map. I discovered Asia is the biggest continent, and Asia is next to Europe and Africa. I also saw that in your work, many of you included the different oceans that surround Asia, and that was excellent. Tell 2 things that you learned from the chart on page 5. Right here on page 5 was Asia fact file in a chart. There were many things you could have discovered. I discovered more than 4 billion people live in Asia, and the Yangtze is the largest river at 3,915 miles long. That's really big. On pages 6 and 7, I asked you to look at this heading right here, Famous Places. After you read, I asked you to identify the main idea. The main idea is that Asia has many old and modern famous places. That moves us down to right here, where you saw question number 5. You see photographs and captions on pages 6 and 7. I'm circling the captions right now in yellow. Share 2 things that you learned from these photographs and captions. I learned for number 1 that Burj Khalifa is filled with apartments and offices. And for number 2, I learned that the Taj Mahal is built from white marble. Your final question asked you to think of a question that you still had about Asia, and your questions were marvelous. Why are there so many people in Asia? How did they think up the Taj Mahal and Burj Khalifa? Is the Taj Mahal still a kingdom? How did Asia become the biggest continent? What kind of weather is Asia having now? How old is the oldest country in Asia? How many languages are spoken there? How long does it take to get to Asia? How does their food taste? Does Asia have more famous places? Today's focus. Today you are going to look at text features again, and you are going to focus on maps, photographs, bold words, and captions. You're going to need to understand and know the word geography for today's task. Geography is a science that deals with the Earth's surface. People who study geography are called geographers. Geographers are interested in Earth's physical features, such as mountains, deserts, rivers, and oceans. They are also interested in the ways that people affect and are affected by the natural world. Here's today's task. You are going to read pages 8 through 13 in your text to answer questions about Asia. You will need to look at the text features in order to answer some of the questions too. You will also need to use the glossary for 2 questions. These would be the questions that ask you what a word means.